Hello, welcome to RC Video Reviews. Today we're taking a look at the M2 Evo by OMPHobby. Before we get started, I need to let you know this video is sponsored by OMPHobby. I'd like to say thanks to OMPHobby for sending the M2 Evo out for review. If you guys follow my channel, you know I'm a big fan of OMP products anyway. I've got the original M2 V2. I've got an M1, I've had an OMP Bighorn, and I think they make really great products. So I was thrilled when they reached out to me and asked me to take a look at the M2 Evo because that's the new M2 on the market. And I've had such a great time flying my original M2 V2 that helicopter really kind of helped me transition into flying the bigger stuff because it's a smaller airframe, parts are easier to replace, it doesn't have as much mass if you crash, so it breaks a little bit less and it's cheaper to fix. So it was a really great helicopter as an intermediate helicopter that got me on the way to flying the bigger stuff. So I've had a real affinity for these helicopters and I'm really excited to take a look at the M2 Evo. And I've got Freddie here. So Freddie and I are going to talk about the helicopter and then we're going to fly it and we'll get some flight video for you guys to see how she does in the air. All right, let's talk about some of the new features on the M2 Evo. I'm just going to cover those real quick. On the heads, there's two different styles. This one's the DFC style, this one's the classic. This one does away with the follower arms from the swash plate and this one includes them. I can't really tell you much about the difference between the two, but what I can tell you is on my bigger helicopters like my SAB Buddy and my Kraken and my Tron, they all use these follower arms. So Fred, what are the two big differences between these two?
Well, you got the follower arms on the non-DFC head, and the DFC head is direct connection. There's no support from the follower arms.
So lower power count on this one.
You have a lower power count. Now, the DFC heads are known for wanting more RPM. If they don't get RPM, sometimes you get a little head or tail wobble, it'll bob a little bit.
So on these, with the higher RPM, there's a little bit of an impact on your battery life.
There's a little bit on the battery, yeah. You might be able to run a little bit lower RPM with the non-DFC head and still get as good performance as you would at a higher RPM, but...
So at the end of the day, it comes down to opinion, really?
Yeah, well, the thing is, with these smaller helicopters, you really are running a higher RPMs anyway, so it's less effect, Yeah.
So it's very much an opinion thing out there, as long as it works, right?
Honestly, I don't think there's many pilots that will be able to tell the difference.
Yeah, okay. The other big differences are longer main blades. They went to 190 millimeter from 175, so that's the length of one blade. So a little bit longer. And what's the benefit of the bigger blades?
With the larger rotor blades or disc area, you can run a little bit lower RPM also. Because you got more lift, you got more disc space, so that you can run lower RPMs.
Okay, just like on an airplane, right? If you want a little more power, you make the prop a little bigger.
Well, with these little ones, especially the smaller ones, any little bit is going to help you out with stability too.
Yeah.
Longer blades equal longer tail boom, more stability.
Got it. The other big change is a redesigned tail motor and blades. The theory is that this is a little bit more powerful, so a bigger motor gives you a little more tail authority, and that gives you better flight control. That's the idea.
Yeah.
The adjustable tail boom, variable length for different experiences. I don't know that I would mess around with that too much. They've got it kind of run out all the way. I think if you were going to do anything, I don't know why you'd shorten it. I can't imagine that would be better. So I don't know from a variability perspective what you might gain from that. Maybe a little bit more twitchy behavior if that's what you're into.
Maybe, yeah, it definitely would do it.
Okay. They also went to a larger battery. They've got a 750 milliamp hour 60C battery, and the prior version, the M2 V2, used a 650 milliamp hour battery at 45C. So a little bit more capacity and a little bit more ability to take some abuse and maintain
longer flight time too.
A little longer flight time. And then the last big one is the color schemes. They obviously made some changes. The M1 is very reflective of the old style, the M2 Evo. That's kind of the new style. The new color schemes for the M2 Evo are white, orange, yellow, and red. And of course on the M2 V2 they had orange, yellow, and purple. So a little bit of a color change.
Design change.
So a little bit of color. So a little bit of change to the color palette and a
design change. I believe the Campies are the same configuration, as in they're interswappable.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, they just changed the design of the scheme of it.
Okay. All right, inside the helicopter, notice they put in a little bit of a bigger motor, and it is a Sunny Sky. I love those Sunny Sky motors. They went to a larger battery and they got rid of the battery tray, which makes it kind of nice. So this is just a pressure fit, and this is exactly how they do it on the M1. So what they got away from is the battery tray, the Velcro, fewer things for you to buy. With that in mind, if your battery puffs, you can't keep stuffing great big puffy batteries in your helicopter, right? If it gets puffy, you're gonna have to change out your battery. So just keep that in mind. Don't be afraid to do it. On the top, they've got the OMPHobby Fly Barless with the built-in OMP receiver. This runs the OMP protocol, which works great with the TX16S. Just remember, you've got to upgrade that NPM firmware to a current version if you want to run the OMP protocol. One of the big advantages of running the OMP protocol is you get telemetry, you get that packed voltage, and that's kind of cool because if you have voltage sag while you're flying, you can set your radio up to give you an alert and tell you to land. It's a little bit different than if you're running other protocols like FTABA, right, Fred?
Yeah, you don't get the telemetry for your voltage, so you only have to a timer to run off of. Which there's nothing wrong with a timer, but you have to keep in mind when you're running a different head speed, you usually set your timer to a set head speed. So if you switching your idle up, you just have to keep in mind that you might get less or more time on a flight pack.
So if you're normally flying like idle up 2 and then you decide to get a little crazy and you hit
Yeah,
idle up 3,
exactly.
you might lose a little flight time.
Yeah, you might
and the
lose
timer
30
might not
seconds
reflect
or
that.
something. Yeah, exactly. So you guys just got to keep that in mind. That's why I like to using the OMP protocol with that telemetry. It just takes all the guesswork out.
Okay. Last thing to point out inside are the servos. They switched to a plastic case servo instead of the metal gear, and I think they did that for cost savings. It does take some cost out of it. And I do want to point out that they are the same internals. So it's not like you're losing anything. It's really, at the end of the day, it kind of comes down to bling, maybe a little bit more durability in a crash, but that's subjective. We really don't know the answer there. That wraps up our bench look at the M2 Evo. Next up, we're going to go fly this thing. You ready to go, Fred?
Let's do it.
All right. All right, guys, here goes the maiden flight for the M2 Evo. I've only spooled this up a couple times, so I don't know what's going to happen. We'll figure it out, though.
You had an ear yet?
Nope. I was going to, I know, but I didn't.
Idle up 1.
Here's idle up 1.
Flight logged 2 flights.
Feels good. I don't see any issues. Oh yeah, that's good. You're gonna like it, Fred.
Feels good?
Yeah, it feels nice and stable. Yeah, really good. Yeah.
So far, that tail does seem quieter, huh?
It does. Yeah, it doesn't have that same...
A twang to it.
Yeah. All right, that's it. I just wanted to get up, do the maiden, and that way if anything went wrong, I blame myself. And now I really want Freddie to have a crack at it. So we're gonna put it on the ground and we're gonna switch out. I'm gonna go to the camera and Fred's gonna go to the sticks and we'll let Freddie take a swing at it. Feels good though. I like it. Whoa.
Oh.
The little deadband.
Maybe I'll fly it today.
Yeah, right. I gotta get her on the ground first. Nice. Yeah, it looks good. All right, guys, Freddie's at the sticks now. He's gonna take the M2 Evo for a little run around the field and we'll see what he thinks of it. Go ahead, Fred, whenever you're ready, buddy.
Here we go. Here goes nothing.
Fred.
I gotta get a feel of it.
Straight up, man. Jeez. Sorry about the video work, man. I didn't expect him to do that. I know he does that on the big stuff. I expected on the small one he'd just take it easy for a minute, but nope. Punched it right away. Isn't that nice, Fred?
It actually feels good. This is my first time flying an M2 of any type. I've only flown the M1s, and so far I like it. Yeah,
It feels nice and solid, man. I got to give him that. I mean, the M2 is really good, but this definitely feels locked in. Like it flies like a much bigger helicopter.
That's kind of the golden ticket for micros.
Yeah.
Get them to fly like the big ones.
Yeah, and I think OMP's got a really good formula for that, to be honest.
You haven't done anything to the fly barless settings.
Nope.
It's all stock.
That's out of the box stock. I like to do out of the box stock just to get an idea of what might need to be changed, you know? So that is box stock fly barless. And that's another thing. If you've never put a helicopter together before, it's a project. You know, it can be a project to not only get the mechanical aspects right, but you got to get the fly barless set up and tuned right. And that's another thing I really like about this form factor is this comes out of the box ready to go. So I'm going to help you guys out. If you're here this long, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get into my Discord and put in my radio setup so you have it. So hop on the Discord in the helicopter channel. Fred. He's getting after it already. So hop on my Discord and grab the helicopter configuration for the M2 Evo. I'll put that in there so you have it. That'll be in Edge TX YAML format.
I'm telling you what, this is my first time flying the M2. I got, what, 3 minutes into it? I freaking love this thing.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah, this handle's awesome, man. I mean, what? It's just comfortable.
Yeah.
2 minutes and it's like you just got it down.
How you doing on battery?
I have no idea. I'm afraid to look.
All right, I'll look.
I'm landing it.
You're gonna land?
Yeah.
Well, I got another battery. We're ready to go.
Beautiful, man. I like that.
Yeah. How's the battery?
11.4.
There you go.
Perfect.
11.4. That's about it.
Now you got 9 seconds on the timer.
Cool.
Yeah, I like it, man. Just, you know, what, the 4 minutes with it, and it feels real good. I really would like to get some more time on it.
It flies like a bigger helicopter,
yeah, it does. It does. You know, and that's a lot of the times, that's the thing. Like I said, that's like the golden ticket in micros. They're always trying to get the algorithms for the fly barless down so that they feel and fly like a larger helicopter. And that's been a goal for, you know, many years. And this is one of the few micros that I've flown that actually do feel like a big helicopter. A lot of other ones claim, and you know, they come, you know, a little bit better, but this actually does feel good. Flies like a 500 or something, you know?
Yeah, cool. That wraps up my first look and the maiden flight of the OMP M2 Evo. I'd like to say thanks again to OMPHobby for sending this M2 Evo out for review. Rest assured, guys, you will see this on the channel again. The M2 is a great warm-up helicopter for me. I love flying the M2 first to get my thumbs wired to brain when I first come out and fly helicopters. So I love this little format, and you will see this one more on the channel. So thanks again, OMPHobby, and I wish you guys great success selling these things. You should move a lot. It's a fine little helicopter. If you like this kind of content, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when new videos hit the channel. That's all I've got for today. Take it easy.
Later, folks.
Hey, if you like the work I do here on RC Video Reviews, please consider joining me on Patreon. For about the price of a cup of coffee, you can help me keep making videos just like this one. If you'd like to help out, there's a link in the description and on your screen. All right, well, hey guys, that wraps up. No, let's take the canopy off.
Oh. You got to take the canopy off, Jesus Christ.
But they did away with the metal case, and that does save a little bit of cost. So this one sells this.
Oh, did they change the layout of these servos too?
I couldn't tell you, Fred.
I hope you can make some.
It wasn't recording.
Are you kidding me, dude?
I wasn't recording.
Oh man, yeah.
So I figured we'd take a second flight and see how it does.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Oh, hold on. Is this still an ILUP 1?
I don't know.
Man, that thing does fly good, dude.
Before we...
Now I'm on the spot. Howdy, folks.
Howdy, folks.
We're down here in the 80 acres.
All right, before we get started, I want to let you know what the new features are. I just want to... Before we get started... No, I already said before you get started.
You're going to do a lot of editing tonight.
Well, it's okay. You take out the... Okay, the other big differences are longer... They also say that there's an upgraded tail rotor and boom... Well, hold on.
I might give me one of them little.
We have to edit that out.
I don't know you're still recording.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
still recording.